is it going? Everyone, welcome to I Wanna Best the Needle 3, which is obviously the continuation, the third game in I Wanna Best the Needle, in case there was any doubt. And apparently this one is easier than the previous one, so if the previous one wasn't an issue, this one shouldn't be an issue either. So, to be fair, the previous game apparently was the hardest one in the series, so you know. I'm not sure why I have white shoes. A little bit weird, the choice that the creator has for the kid. Also, the title screen I didn't really recognize where it is from, but it sounds familiar. I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of songs can sound familiar and you still have no idea where they are from. It's a possibility. Now, it's an interesting little change, having those white things in the shoes. It really makes it look like shoes. I will say that it's an improvement, though I wonder what the fourth game is gonna have. The fourth game being the last one. Wonder what surprise it's gonna have. Maybe the bow is gonna be a hat. I don't know, hard to tell. There are also some things that, at least to me, are not super easy to remember about the kid's design. For example, the kid has a cape. That's something that I don't think I usually remember. How is it going, Kyle? I guess I still have not played enough fun games to properly remember how the kid looks. Hey Big Malone, how is it going? Good needle luck. Well, I mean, here this is the opposite of luck, actually. This needle is one of the only genres in fun games that require zero luck, unless it somehow also has traps, but needle usually doesn't have traps, so it tends to be pure skill. Yeah, this is my fun game. This is my third fun game, obviously. It couldn't be any other way. Can you believe it? Yeah, no. One day. One day it might be. But that day is not today. Yeah. I do like the design of the shoes, especially when it jumps. It makes it look like it's closing together. It's so cool. Oops. Wish you needle skills to pay the bills. Thanks. Yeah, but don't worry, my needle skills are going fine. Well, I mean, for a game like this at least. You know, there are a lot of needle games out there that I will probably struggle for months trying to beat them. Like, you don't know how hard some of these fun games can be. You can have an idea, but there are some fun games that are very evil. And I'm just talking about pure needle fun games. Like, forget about trap fun games or avoidance or anything like that. We're talking about pure needle. Some of them are so evil. But yeah. Maybe one day I will try my hand at some of them. But see, the issue is that to me, it doesn't sound very attractive, the idea of playing the same Needle fan game for a month. Like, I don't know about you, but that does not seem like an attractive idea to me. So yeah. Oh, already went past the first section. But yeah, the way these games work, as you would expect, is that every section is its own thing, so they get harder. You cannot really compare the first section with the next ones. Yeah. A lot of times when the spikes are the same color as the platforms, it's pretty easy to think they are platforms. So this is Synthwave. I always welcome Synthwave. Amazing music. Yeah. It really is. But I don't know what it is about this creator, but I really like the way he does Needle. I mean, maybe it's just because it's easy Needle, but I mean, there is some easy Needle that is not super attractive to play. It feels like this one is. I guess maybe the music choice also helps. I don't know. But I like the way he does Needle. Because I mean, usually I wouldn't play Needle fan games 2 days in a row unless it's the same game that I need to keep beating. This guy just makes me want to play Needle. And not just these 4 games. Because after these 4 games, this guy has 200 floor games. But one is 50. The point is that this guy has more stuff, and I want to play it. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It's probably that it's the perfect sweet spot on difficulty. Like, it's not too hard, but obviously it's not mind-blowingly easy. It's like it sits in a very comfortable position. I think that might be it. But I think that the visuals and the music help too. You know? And this Thursday actually starts a very long weekend where I live. Basically, we have a nationwide holiday on Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's basically a 6-day weekend. That's pretty nice. And I'm probably gonna use the weekend to try to get more into fun game making. Try to see if at least I can get started. I already have the software needed, but what I need now is to be able to use the software. That's the important thing. That's something that you need to use. You could read 1,000 tutorials, but you need to actually use it get familiarized with what everything does by yourself. And after all, I'm pretty sure that none of us learn how to use Paint by watching a tutorial. You know? Obviously, it's not like Paint is a hard software to use, but the point is that there was no tutorial needed. Just trying things, seeing what they do. And when you know what everything does, you want to do something in particular, you just open the program and do it. That's the idea that I have for GameMaker. So you do need probably a little bit of knowledge before doing the trial and error stuff. But I think that the way things are arranged, it's something that can be pretty self-explanatory. Because thankfully for the people that made the engine, they named their variables very intuitively. So you know that something is a sprite because it starts with the name of the object starts with SPR, right? Or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the abbreviation was, but the point is that it's something that it's obvious at first glance, right? And that's exactly how it should be. That sort of stuff, at least. The guys that made the engine do a good job at setting standards. I mean, that's also the reason why the software you use is called GameMaker. It's something that you use to make games, but you make games as a regular person, not as an industry professional, you know. You do them the most intuitive way possible. It does seem like a lot of the music that this guy chooses, at least in this particular one, seems to be about the typical arcade songs from the 90s. Like the instruments are very typical. The guy has good taste in music. He also seems to really like that glowing effect that these spikes have, right? Like, they start in one color, they slowly change to another color, and then what they do is abruptly going back to the first color. He seems to really like that effect. He likes that effect a lot. I cannot blame him. It looks cool. What I will probably do is look back the color more naturally. Like, instead of going back to the first frame like that, we'll probably just go back. So here, instead of being from orange, well, I guess they are both orange. But let's say that from bright orange to dark orange, and then back to bright orange, just like that. We'll just make it go from bright to dark, and then from dark to bright in the same time that it took to go to dark. But yeah, it's a minor detail. Not like I particularly mind. I think it will maybe look better. Maybe. But if it looks that much better, I could just do it on my... I could just do it on whatever fun game I try to do. And see if it really looks that much better. I gotta say that so far, the one thing that I prefer in the other games more than this one is the backgrounds. I think that the backgrounds in the other game look pretty cool. These ones, they don't look bad. I feel like they might look a little bland. Just a little bland. I guess it's better for it to be bland than it being something that it's hard to see, that it's hard on the eyes, right? That sort of stuff is no good. Even this song sounds so familiar to me. So where could it possibly be from? I mean, I will check it later. I will check it later after I beat the game, but... I don't know. I just can tell you that it sounds very, very familiar. Oh, you're supposed to jump there. That ain't gonna work. Oh, another thing is that looking at the game folder, it kind of spoils you. But the game also has 4 zones like the previous game. I'm not sure why it has to have the music outside of the encrypted data though. Maybe it's just want people to be able to listen it normally, or maybe it wants people to be able to replace it or something. I don't know. It's like the only thing aside from the README that is unencrypted. I'm not that sure of why. It's a little bit weird. But it's not the only fun game that I've seen that it does that. I don't think it's I don't think it's a limitation. I've seen so many fan games that are just the executable and that's it. Just a little bit weird. That it works that way. Ooh, that was close. It's weird that it also uses OGG format, but it still keeps the fade in. Like every time the music loops, it first fades out. So I'm not sure why. Fan games don't encrypt anything other than save files. Well, maybe encryption is not the word, but I mean, I've seen a lot of fan games that are just an executable file, you know. How is it going, Yami? I mean, that's what I was talking about. I don't know if you can call that encrypted or if you call that compiled or what term you want to use. But my point is that I've seen a lot of fan games that are just an executable and they have everything in that executable. Or perhaps it's an executable with a data file and that's it. But they don't usually have resources hanging around like that, you know. So that's what I mean by that. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. But not every fan game has it like that. Package, archive, or compile. Alright. But yeah, the point is, why is it not compiled in this case? Is it so people can change it or so people can listen to it and that's it? Or Game Maker Studio uses a standard archive you can extract with something like 7-zip. You can literally just extract it and use those files to launch it instead if you want. Well, but why is it not compressed then? Why are the OGG files out there instead of being compressed inside the data file or the executable? I mean, I don't mind. I'm just curious to see what's the logic behind it, you know? Because I mean, in that same vein, you don't see, for example, the backgrounds as a file that is outside of that compression. Why are the musics the songs the exception? Basically, if you look at the folder now, you have DirectX DLL, a data file that is the one that has the most size. Then you have the README, the executable, and options ini, and then you have all of the OGG files for the music. So that's what's weird to me. Like, why isn't that part of the data file? Because I mean, it spoils you how many songs the game has. It essentially spoils you how many areas the game has. You know? Well, I mean, not like it's an extreme spoiler. You can package it how you want. For example, you might want to lose files if you want to upload it to Steam and not make everyone re-download everything on updates. Yeah, I guess that is a good reason, yeah. Like if there is an update where you fix something that doesn't work well in the game, instead of making it re-download the music, you just make it re-download either the data file or the executable. Yeah, I guess that will make sense, yeah. I don't know if that's the case here, but the only way to know is by asking the creator. You can if you want to. I'm assuming you're using an option to not package them all as one executable. I mean, I don't know what I am using. But yeah, like, I didn't try to see what happens when you fully compile the engine that you have as a template. Like if it's only an executable or what it is. PlayStation update that was 125 gigabytes of download or like 2 gigabytes of data. A lot of console game updates are very bad nowadays. Basically, consoles kinda lost their plug and play status a long time ago. All because of the stupid ass updates. But yeah, I guess that's something important as a developer. If your game is gonna have updates, you have to be very mindful of how you ship the game, how you separate the different resources that the game has. That way, if you have to push an update, you don't have to download absolutely everything. Is this loud? No, it's not. Alright. Apparently this is the last zone of this game. It will be quite hard. We will see. It was one Call of Duty Black Ops game. They fucked up one texture and people had to re-download the whole game. But I mean, Call of Duty is already very shit when it comes to optimization, so it's not a surprise that something like that will happen. Unity is pretty bad for that. I think the default settings tend to make a lot of changes to the compressed files for minor changes. I don't know, I never use any game engine, but what I do know is that on Steam, when you update a game, even if it's an update that it's only like 60 megabytes, what I know is that you usually have to spend quite a lot of time installing the update. Like, it's basically a gamble, but like lately a lot of games do that. Like, it seems to be very, very common. Even if the update itself is super small, it doesn't matter. Because you pretty much just uninstall everything. So at least the download is not that big. You're not gonna spend time downloading, but you are gonna spend time installing it. So I guess it's better to do that than spending it downloading, because that's something that doesn't really depend on you. When it comes to installing, it just depends on your drive where you store the game. You can change a 50-100 kilobits image, but that image on disk is compressed in one of the multiple 1 gigabyte archives. Yeah, I guess it's very hard especially if you are like a rookie developer, like in retrospective, to be able to know exactly exactly what the game is gonna need for an update. There's a trade-off. Sequential data is much easier to read, especially in the case of fragmented HDDs. Well, I don't know about that because I stopped using HDD some years ago, so right now I don't think outside of a secondary storage device, I don't think I will use an HDD again. At least not to install games, that's the thing. Installing games, something that I should always delegate to the SSD. And then anything else I can use it for other stuff. But yeah. I mean, you can use it mostly for... I don't know if emulators really change too much where you store the ROMs. Maybe some of them do, but I think that for the most part, maybe it's not that important. I'm not very sure. But I guess those are the kind of things. Well, especially if you are not using them. As you can still store ROMs, even if you plan on using them at some point, but the ones you don't plan on using, you can just store them in a secondary drive. When you wanna use them, you just bring them to your primary one, and that's it, right? Hard to tell. I don't think I ever used two different drives at the same time. Like, I have an external HDD. That's something that I have it stored until I need to either pull something from there or put something there. I wouldn't call that a secondary drive because it's not constantly connected to my PC. I mean, that's mostly what I mean. It's been a while since I had a second drive connected to my PC at all times. If I ever had that in the first place. I remember when I had older versions of Windows that I would have a C drive and a D drive, but they were basically the same device. They were not two different hard drives. They were the same one that was just fragmented into two logical drives, so yeah. A little bit foreign to me to have two drives, two physical drives in the same computer. Not something that happens. I guess at some point I could. I don't see why not. I don't remember if this song looped before. It did loop now, though. I'm gonna say that since this is supposed to be the last area of this game, I feel like it does look very dark. It lacks more light, lacks more color. That the previous ones definitely had. This one, for some reason, doesn't want to have it. Just doesn't feel like it. I gotta say that I like this song. I have no clue where it is from, but it sounds very cool. Very nice. And also this game, this series of games, always makes it hard to know exactly what's the last screen gonna be. Like the last screens don't really look like something you can identify. Like unless you are counting the screens and they all have the same amount per area. It seems very hard to even tell what's gonna be the last screen. In other Needle games it's a lot more obvious, like they make the last screen purposely either hard or something more fancy to make you understand that yes, you're about to reach the end. But in this game, that's not the case. You never know when it's about to end. I guess to be fair, in Uhuhu Spike it also wasn't obvious. That's like one of the most popular Needle games, so I guess if it wasn't obvious on that one, doesn't have to be obvious on this ones. Well, I actually wonder if Who Spike is the most popular Needle fan game, because there is also Crimson Needle, so it's hard for me to tell. It's kind of like Boshi and Camellia. Which one is the most popular fan game? I don't know. Because I'm not really in any fan game community. It's hard for me to tell what's the perception of the community when it comes to those type of games. Which one is more popular? Which one isn't very liked? And all of that, right? I just have no idea. Right? But Camellia is a fun game that I see a lot on Twitch. There are so many people that stream that game. Usually Camellia 3. Some people play Camellia 2, but Camellia 3 is extremely popular. And the thing about Bosch is that you wouldn't see it here because it has its own category. And that's something that I always found mind-blowing. Boshi, the Twitch category has more followers than the I Wanna Be The Guy category. I think that's because Boshi is pretty much prime Twitch culture. I mean, after all, one of the levels is supposed to be Shasting TV. Makes sense, but that was a long time ago. I'm surprised that I Wanna Be The Guy still hasn't surpassed it, considering that you're comparing one fun game with absolutely hundreds of fun games, thousands. On the other day I saw the amount of fun games that Delicious Fruit apparently hosts, and the number is like around 13,000. Obviously that doesn't mean that there are 13,000 fun games in total in the world. I don't think the number is gonna be that far from that. It's pretty interesting. It's a number that is quite a big number. Obviously, out of those 10,000 or well 13,000, probably only 1,000 are worth playing. Sure, but yeah, that's fine too. Obviously, what's worth playing or not depends on you. It's still pretty interesting. I wonder if there is one person that have absolutely played all of them. Which doesn't mean beating. I can imagine one person checking Delicious Fruit every day for updates. Just to play new fun games. any new release, regardless of what it is. Nice. Got him. Okay, man, there is no music in this one. And this time he actually put walls on the side, so if you die, the only way of dying is by hitting that spike. Though for some reason the game over is still off-center. Yeah, well, not a boss was obvious, but yeah, the weird thing is no music whatsoever. But yeah, I guess that was the third one. I want to see what the music was though. Let's see. So, okay, the title one was another Eschatos song. And then the first one is Ginga Force, the second one Biodrive, the third one again another Eschatos song, and the fourth one is Ginga Force. I probably should play Ginga Force. But yeah, I guess that's the reason why these Eschatos songs are so familiar to me, because I played Eschatos, it's just that it's been so long and I didn't really like that game that much that my memory doesn't remember much of it. But hey, at least we got the third one.